Imagine watching your home burn, your family slaughtered, and then being told to smile and accept your new Roman life. Yeah, Boudica wasn't having any of that. This woman didn't just fight back, she waged war against the Roman Empire. And for a while, she almost won. Let's rewind. We're in Roman-occupied Britain, 1st century CE. Rome has done what Rome does best: roll in with legions, take over the land, and tell everyone, "Congratulations, you're Roman now." The local tribes, not thrilled, but most went along with it to avoid being completely wiped out. One of those tribes was the Iceni. Their king, Prasutagus, tried to play nice with Rome, signed treaties, stayed in his lane. But when he died, Rome threw all that diplomacy out the window. Instead of respecting his will, where he left his kingdom to both his daughters and Rome, the empire basically said, "Thanks, but we'll take it all." And just to make sure everyone got the message, they publicly flogged his widow, Queen Boudica, and then did something so horrific to her daughters, I won't even say it here. That was the moment the Romans messed up. Because Boudica didn't just mourn. She rose. She gathered the Iceni. Then she called on neighboring tribes who were also fed up with Rome's taxes, their arrogance, and their brutality. This wasn't just a rebellion. It was a full-on uprising. And here's where things get crazy. Boudica's army, mostly made up of tribal warriors, farmers, and people with nothing left to lose, swept through Roman settlements like a wildfire. They didn't just march. They burned cities to the ground. Camulodunum, torched. Londinium, modern-day London, leveled. Verulamium, gone. They didn't hold back. And honestly, you can see why. These weren't just battles. This was vengeance. This was centuries of Roman cruelty erupting all at once. And Boudica, she led from the front. Flaming red hair, eyes blazing, driving a chariot with her daughters beside her. Imagine facing that on a battlefield. You're a Roman soldier, trained for war. And here comes this queen, with fire in her heart and nothing to lose. For a while, it looked like Rome might actually fall in Britain. The Roman governor, Suetonius, had been caught off guard. Most of his forces were scattered. The empire had never seen resistance like this from a woman, let alone from a bunch of so-called barbarians. But here's the thing about Rome. They don't stay down for long. Suetonius regrouped, found an open battlefield that gave his heavily armored troops the advantage, and when the two sides finally met, it was brutal. Boudica's forces outnumbered the Romans, maybe even 5-1, but numbers weren't enough. The Roman legions held the line, formed tight formations, and just chewed through the rebels. It was a slaughter. Tens of thousands of Boudica's fighters died that day. Her rebellion, as fierce as it was, came to a bloody end. And Boudica herself, she vanished from history. Some say she took poison to avoid capture. Others think she escaped, disappearing into legend. But the impact she left? Oh, it never faded. Rome had won, but they never forgot her. They built up their defenses, reinforced their garrisons, and basically said, "Let's never let that happen again." That's how much one woman shook the empire. Think about that. In a world ruled by emperors, gods, and armies, one woman, armed with fury and grief, brought Rome to its knees, even if just for a moment. She didn't wear a crown of gold. She wore battle scars. She didn't build statues. She lit fires. And even today, Boudica stands as a reminder that sometimes the fiercest warriors come out of nowhere. If you thought this story was wild, hit that like button, subscribe for more untold legends, and let us know in the comments. Who else do you think went toe-to-toe with empires and almost won? Because history's full of rebels, but very few rode into battle with a chariot and a vengeance.